How you doing, YouTube? I've been making a steady flow of videos so far. I'm not doing too bad. I'm doing pretty well actually. I've made about, let's see, probably in the last few days. Well, I had a backlog of videos because the main reason I had a backlog of videos is because I had some videos that I wasn't going to upload until I moved to the new house. So that's sort of a few of those. But the few new ones that I did make, which I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the house itself, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, about 15 video, no, 16, 17, 18, about 18 new videos I made. So, and then the vast majority after that was about 18 worth that I made at the new house. And then the other majority was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 18, 19, maybe 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, the other ones are pretty much half and half. They were sort of between the new house and the old house, so a combination of that. So we'll see how we go anyway. So how am I doing? Well, my internet connection is running quite well. I've got the repair area set up a lot better now, so it's looking really good. I just got to give my dad a hand with the rest of the stuff around the house. Basically, I've got to do some cleaning, obviously. Then we've got to get the garage fixed up as well, make it a little more neater, obviously, which is something we plan to do. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. My dad's sort of taking it at his own pace, doing his own thing, but that's cool, no problem. In any case, I'll help my dad with most of that if he needs help with it. What else are we doing? At this point, I've got the repair base set up, so I can start doing repairs now if I want to. I've had a couple of people inquire about different repairs, so somebody inquired about a screen repair, but I haven't heard back from them yet. They haven't texted me back, so I'll see if they do end up texting me back at this point. That's cool. In the meantime, I'm receiving or getting a new streaming device, which is currently in the mail on its way to me, and should take about a week, maybe less than a week. I don't know. It depends. What's today? Today is Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, maybe I'll get it Friday, possibly Thursday. I don't know. The date that I'm seeing on the postage tracking is so far, it's showing that it actually has left Queensland, where it was originally posted from, and yeah, it's on its way. So we'll see how it goes. That's right, cool. I'm going to be doing a lot more streaming as well. We'll see if I can do a lot more streaming. What did I end up getting? I ended up getting the newest Elgato device. As I said, I'm having random crashes with the Elgato software sometimes from time to time, but I think it's more related to the device itself. The device has issues where it's not always recognised by my computer in the sense of a USB device. The new device obviously is an Elgato still, but it's actually USB 3.0, which a lot of the ports on my back of my computer is pretty much USB 3.1 or 3.0. There's also another one, Type-C connector, that I have as well, USB Type-C connector, which I haven't managed to use one of those yet, but you know, we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, I've decided, you know, I'm going to try and get more into streaming, but the streaming is going to be a way for me to promote my YouTube at the same time, and you know, show some of the stuff that I get up to. I may do an upgrade. Slight upgrade next time around on the Workbench camera, web camera, just because I want to be able to sort of stream stuff if I want to do repairs and things like that, and I want to be able to show some of the repairs I get up to. So not just repairs, but also maybe builds and stuff that I end up getting up to as well. So that's going to be something that's going to be a priority in my mind, you know. Definitely give me little projects and stuff, and I won't be, you know, because sometimes I admit a lot of the times in the old house I didn't have as much ability to upload things as fast as I can now, and it sort of got me a little bit bored sometimes because I couldn't always do the projects where I wanted to, and I couldn't show the projects I wanted to show. If I, for example, wanted to do some type of live streaming thing, it wasn't really feasible on my old connection, so that's sad. But you know, that's then. That was before. This is now, so you know, We'll see how we go anyway. We'll see which direction things head in. I want to do another build, maybe another reconditioned build at this point. We will see how it goes. I've tossed and turned about different things. I've got the workbench set up as best I possibly can for what I want to do. I need to strip down a machine, which I'm going to do a video about that as well. Me stripping down a machine and next to my old niece's machine, which is just I'm going to strip the hard drive out of it, maybe some RAM and things like that, and just take those basic parts out of it. Maybe the processor, but I doubt it because the processor is only a single core processor, so I'm not really keeping anything that's single core anymore because it's just not worth my time to try and fix up a single core computer, to be honest. So in the meantime, I've decided, I've decided myself the best option I've got at this point in time is just, to continue keep on doing my videos and producing as many as I possibly can. On top of that, whether it's new information or new tech, I've also probably got to watch some videos as well and get some information from other videos on the latest tech and do a bit of research online as well, because that's part of it. That was going to be part of my channel anyway, do research in the latest tech stuff. I looked into the, I watched a couple of videos on, what was it, a couple of YouTube channels, different ones that did some stuff on the new Scorpio Xbox One. Looks interesting, and it's an incremental upgrade from what I can tell. Or not really upgrade, it's an incremental update. It looks like it's, should be interesting. Supposedly you can do 4K video, there's a bunch of other stuff. It's also got an internal power supply instead of an external power brick. And, there's supposed to be a bunch of other stuff that's going to be beneficial to it. I probably wouldn't be upgrading for that. Most likely not straight away anyway, so... I've got this Xbox One at the moment and I'm pretty happy with it. It does exactly what I want it to do, and for the moment I'm just going to be doing Xbox One videos on and off. And I've got a fair few games on anyway, so it's not a big issue. And, they're going to be releasing games for regardless. So, I've got a few free games that I want to try out on the Xbox One, which I downloaded games which I originally downloaded. I also downloaded Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which looks great. Looks like a spectacular game, to be honest. And I played the first few parts of it through the first few sort of level areas. And sort of I was trying to, wasn't going with most of it anyway. It was pretty good though. I didn't do too bad, considering. I probably want to play it a bit more, to be honest. I was a bit rusty on the controls because I hadn't played it for so freaking long. It was not a bad game in general. I mean, I'm more of a keyboard and mouse person, but I can play with a controller if I need to. And I don't mind a controller in certain circumstances. What else? I don't know, I've just been chilling, mostly trying to, I guess, also looking into some social media stuff and just doing stuff on Facebook. I need to do a little more, I haven't been advertising my business as much on Facebook, so I need to get back into doing that. I want to, is this me or? That's weird. Was that just... Oh, I must have scratched my arm, I guess. Okay, that's alright. I just didn't realise I scratched my arm. Anyway, aside from that, just trying to keep myself as busy as possible, trying to make sure that I'm, I'm doing things, or keeping myself regularly busy, and not just that, I'm also getting bored, and also keeps my mind focused, I guess, to a certain extent, to some degree. I can do the things I want to do, whether it's particular items in question, whether it's certain stuff that are certain project videos I want to get up to, taking apart certain things that I may have lying around, just to have a look at the guts of them and just to see exactly what the functionalities of them and things of that nature. So at this point, I'm pretty happy with the way things are. I just need to get back into the swing of things. I've I've been more in moving mode more than anything else. I mean, I'm still going to be in moving mode. I'm still going to be doing stuff, moving around stuff, and still helping my dad with things. But I haven't been this sort of. I haven't had this much motivation to do videos because of the fact that in most cases when I did do videos before, it always came down to the simple fact that I couldn't upload the videos as fast as I wanted to. I couldn't get them out there, to sort of be the perfect video for the perfect content for everybody, and not just that, but I felt like I wasn't achieving anything. I felt like I wasn't being productive at all. It just felt like I was, hitting my head against a brick wall on a constant basis, especially when it came to uploading or trying to upload my videos. That was the worst thing I found, especially with a slower connection. It made a hell of a lot of difference going from what I have, what I had in the old house to what I have now, and that's the thing. It's made a lot of difference. It's made me feel better about things in general. I also think it's probably helped my mood a lot. Me being more motivated to do the videos on top of that helps so much because generally it has helped my mood a lot. I mean, I'm not as depressed. I don't feel like I'm not motivated to do anything anymore. Like in that sense of things. I still do. I mean, maybe it's a bit of excitement about the move as well. It's probably a bit of excitement about the move because I did actually. The house is nice. The house is extremely nice. I'm quite impressed with this house. It's really cool. Inbuilt wardrobe in my room, which is a plus bonus. I've never had that. I didn't have that in the old house. And there's a lot of new stuff. I mean, the house is great. Open area, so area for your sort of lounge room area is all open. So it's very. It feels like it's. It is a little bit closer together than like it's not as spread out as the old house, but it feels like it's just a bit more open in some ways than the other house was. This room I know is definitely bigger than my old room because my old room was a lot. I couldn't back all the way up to the door with my chair in my old room. That was impossible at times. I mean, especially because the amount of stuff that would get in the way in most cases. The desk and everything else on my old chair. And look at this way. I fitted everything into this room. I mean, I got a ton of stuff in the wardrobe, obviously, but I fitted my desk. I fitted my desk, my computer, my 2 screens, everything else I needed, plus 2 modems, a fridge underneath, the bed, which I grabbed my nephew's bed, is quite comfortable as well. I'm finding it's just better for my back in general because my back was really shitty on the old bed. As I said, we got rid of the old bed anyway. We put that in a stacked it pretty much. Not stacked it. Put it in a skip pretty much and just got rid of it. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I mean, it wasn't that easy. The move wasn't that easy, but with moving, it gives you a chance to clean things out. It gives you a chance to throw anything that you don't really want. And considering that we probably had the accumulation of 10 years worth of crap, in that sense, it was just better in the long run if we did actually. Well, I think it was just good to move at the time we did, because it was just the best possible result for the whole situation. I mean, it wasn't just the actual connection that made me, that I found positive about this house. There's other things too. The reverberations against the walls in this house are not too bad, especially when you're talking, because it sounds really good. I think that's another reason the bird's making a lot more noise too, sometimes. But you can hear reverberation, sort of the echoes through the walls or against the walls themselves. It's a lot more acoustically better for my YouTube channel in general. I can hear that anyway. You can just hear that in general. I don't know. Well, that's me anyway. I don't know. It's probably because I listen to a lot of that stuff and I actually pick up on a lot of that stuff. I'm very sensitive to a percentage of those things. But in between that, we've been moving, we've had to clean the old house, obviously. That wasn't the easiest in the world, but we got there. But yeah, no, it's been interesting moving, and it's also interesting getting rid of old things that you don't necessarily need or stuff that you don't necessarily want. Because a lot of the times, especially if you do tend to hold on to a lot of things, at the time I think, oh, I need that, I don't need that, and then like you'll double back and you'll think about it, and you go, oh no, I don't need that crap, and you'll end up chucking half of it anyway. But I mean, the major sets of components and stuff that I got from PCs and computers and stuff and parts, I kept a percentage of those, obviously. But there's some things I just went, no, this thing is absolutely pointless in keeping because it's just shit house to start with. I The good thing about cleaning out though too, you find some things that you didn't know you had, which I didn't know that I had a second LCD screen. That belonged to one of my nieces or nephews, I think was originally theirs, but I gave them one of mine, so we sort of swapped out and things. But it worked. It worked fine. So now I have two monitors on the workbench computer, which is a lot for doing, good for doing a lot. If I want to do a little bit of video editing on there, in the sense of, I can also do. I've got it there somewhere. I'll have to find it, but I think it's sitting out on the table out there somewhere, or either there or it's been put in the garage. But that's fine. I'll find it eventually. Just going to plug it into the workbench computer, and it's going to be like be able to rip VHS tapes and such. So I could even offer a little service or something like that I could charge for something like that. So I mean, I probably won't charge a massive fortune for it, but you know, just something relatively cheap. Something like that. I could do something of that nature, and at the end of it, there's just a lot more better potential with having two screens, just so I can chuck some work on another screen, and then of course I can work on a computer on one screen. Say for example I have a computer, the desktop computer that I'm working on, and I can have that on the screen, and when I have it on the screen, ultimately I can be sitting there working on that. At the same time I can be on the workbench computer itself, doing stuff on that computer, just, you know, specifically down to, say, for example, downloading a driver, scanning a hard drive or anything of that nature, or, you know, scanning stuff with malware bytes or something of that nature. So my production level, or my productiveness level goes up, in that sense of having the two screens. I know when it comes to me doing my YouTube videos, my production level always goes up. Well, it tends to go up because I use two screens regardless of in most cases. So at the end of it, I just think it's better having two screens, even if one of the screens is a little smaller than it should be. I mean, I don't want a massive screen at the end of it. I want two relatively same size screens that'll work to my advantage in a work situation. So the other side of it too is, what else? At this point, I'm trying my best to sort of find my feet with a couple of things. I know I want to do some more streaming, and I know I could probably start making some stuff out of that, money-wise out of that. My YouTube production has increased, obviously, because I have a lot more videos. I'm able to upload videos a lot faster now, but I can also make videos a lot faster. A lot of times I make tons of videos, but I wouldn't be able to upload them at all. I wouldn't be able to give any type of, you know, uploading them would take 2 to 3, maybe. I have one video take me 3 weeks. I think one video in particular take me 3 weeks to upload, and I'm like, wow, that's damn pathetic. And I've got to say though, I'm going to be an advocate for having fibre to the home or fibre to the premises, which this house does have that. It is fantastic, especially when it comes to like the sense of what you want, the sense of fibre optic just generally to the premises is a better option than fibre to the node, because I've seen so many nightmare stories with different people who've got fibre to the node and it's ended up shitting itself completely. And to be honest, I think the government needs to invest in that. They're probably a better option, to be truthful, in the long run. If you look at the way things are these days, it's just a better option. It honestly is, because just in the sense of like responsiveness, fibre optic cable, or as I said, the copper cables in the sense of phone cables or Telstra copper cable is just so freaking dated. It's not funny. I don't get it. I personally don't understand what the current Liberal government is sort of doing, because they're a bunch of freaking dumbasses when it comes to this stuff. And this is coming from somebody who's in it, who knows IT himself. Just, no, don't do it. No, fibre to the node is just terrible. Now, okay, the other end of it too, you have some people who turn around and say, oh no, it's okay, it's this fine, or whatever. I mean, look, as I said, I think it obviously depends on the person. But I don't know, if most of the fibre to the node stuff is pretty shocking, to be truthful, from what I can see anyway. So I've got some projects coming up, which one of those projects is to take apart an old computer that I'm going to use for spares. It's currently sitting on the workbench at the moment. Then I've got to work on my sister's laptop, which it is a family thing, obviously it's not my client's computer, but I've got to work on my sister's laptop. I'm going to get some data off her computer, which, as I said, I'm in the middle of, well, we've been in the middle of the move, so I haven't had a chance to do any of that stuff. I will definitely try and get that data off of this. I have to get apart first. And, I mean, my sister's pretty understanding with that, because she knows, you know, that I don't necessarily have the time straight away to sort of get certain things. So, in that sense of things, I have to find out exactly what part I'm after, but it's just, it reads off the M.2 SATA drives that you can actually get for laptops, or even laptops or desktop, even desktops these days. It comes on some motherboards, or my motherboard for example. It reads the chip and it basically gets the data off. So what I need to do is get a chip reader off eBay, and probably my best option, to be truthful. Let me just have a look and see what eBay. See, I have to find out what specifically I'm after too, because I tried looking up M.2 SATA reader, but it doesn't actually come up. I need something that's USB. Reader. USB. Let me just see. I'm gonna have to search for specifically what I'm after, but it's not too USB. Let me just try USB and see what happens. Not too USB, and absolutely shit all. Okay, so I'm gonna actually have to research and find out exactly what I need to read that, because I need to get data off her computer, which is important obviously, but I have to work out exactly what I was required to read it. This is part of the problem, part of the issue. I mean, I might be able to do that, or I might be able to get her computer to boot. I haven't actually gone around to got back to working on her computer yet. I did initially get it to boot, and then it wouldn't boot again. So I'm going to see if I can get it to boot. If I can't get it to boot, worst case scenario is I have to buy something that'll off eBay to get the data off. It's M.2, okay. So it's got a PCI, yeah, no, that's not what I wanted, that's a PCI Express one, I don't need that. What I want is a single disk. I need something that reads it, basically. Basically, I need something that reads that type of slot. There we go. Okay, M.2 M SATA. Okay, M.2 M SATA. Now I know what I'm after. Conductor. M.2 SATA 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 plus SATA adapter, which is pretty much what I'm after. There we go. Right. Hopefully I hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Alright, so basically what I need is a adapter, which are only $10 on eBay, so that's not too bad. That's fantastic, by the way. So that's cheap, depending on the type of adapter converter you want. They're about $12 to $10, so that's not too bad. I will have to pick one up at some point. At this point I want to see though if I can actually get the computer to work properly. As I said, in between moving everything else, I didn't have much of a chance to fiddle around with it and sort of get it just right. So, you know, I am going to do that. I'm going to look at it, but I just haven't had the chance. So, in the meantime, I'm going to. That's $44 converter anyway. So basically, yeah, I'll probably put it into a normal SATA thing, so because it's easier to convert over, and then that way I can actually get the data off I want to for my system. So that's pretty much a plan. So I got to look at my sister's laptop. I got to take apart that other computer. So those are two different things I can look at, and two different things I can make videos about at this point in time. So pretty much going to plan that out that way for the time being. I did blow out my computer today. I dusted it out, and I think it's running a little bit cooler. Not too bad. It's running okay. Yeah, the temperature's not too bad. It's 37, so yeah. Considering, yeah, so that's not too bad. So I blew that computer out. I've also got to blow out my dad's computer and my workbench computer as well. I haven't done a dust out on that for a while, so I think it's just be a good idea to do it. So at this point I've got a few things I can show and I can actually do projects on, and sort of, you know, we'll say this needs to be done, this needs to be done. I'm also probably going to I got to update my dad's computer, but that's alright. That's neither here nor there. That's inside the house. I'll probably have to do a day of actually updating the workbench computer as well, just because it hasn't been online for about 2 or 3 weeks now. So, you know. In the meantime, those projects are in my head. I'm thinking, well, okay, I've got those to go. Some other projects that I may have interest in, or possibly, is taking some stuff apart that I specifically want to find out what went wrong with it. Specifically, just go down and see what parts may have issues or don't have issues. I'll see how it goes. I'll see which direction it goes. But we will see. On the plus side, I have a lot better lighting to work with as well, because I've got about 2-3 different brighter LED lights on my workbench now, so I can actually see properly into proper circuitry and everything else. I've got a couple of magnifying glasses and everything else just in case I've got to look at particular things. Not that my eyes it's bad or anything of that nature. I just, especially when looking at circuit boards or damage to circuit boards, it's not always obvious if there is damage, because you can't always necessarily see it on the surface, or just, you can't see it as clearly, especially if it's a very, very tiny thing that's damaged it, or a very tiny amount of damage has happened. So in between that, I've got that. I've got maybe a screen repair as well, but I don't know. The client hasn't, as I said, the person emailed me and I said I don't know whether I'd be ready for a week. But obviously I am now. I'm ready to do that screen repair. But I have to wait for them to not email me. I have to wait for them to message me back because I'll definitely text message saying I have to order the screen in. Obviously they have to give me the money for the screen to be able to for me to be able to do the order and stuff. So yes, a screen replacement possibly. Yep, at this point. And yeah, let's see, a screen replacement at this point, and what's the other thing? As I said, my sister's laptop, which my sister's laptop's okay. It's just I want to see if I can actually get it to boot properly because I did have that initial problem with it not booting correctly, but I think I can probably get. We'll see how it goes. And then I'll probably, as I said, I'll be doing some streaming. Definitely streaming is going to be an option. Just I'm not necessarily going to do the streaming at first. I'm probably going to wait off for the streaming a bit, maybe. At the moment, I'm waiting for IONET to set up our net phone because it has been set up in the modem. They gave me the passcode and everything else for it, but according to them, they're still porting the number over, so it won't be ready for at least 3 or 4 days. Well, that was what I was told anyway originally. So I'm sort of waiting at the moment. I've looked on the notes on the system and they're still sort of in flux. I've changed the address for our new place on the system for IONET as well, because it has that option to change if you want to change information like that. So I've done that, I've changed that, I've changed bits and pieces, just phone numbers that weren't right or whatever, and I've changed those around. But when it comes to them activating the net phone and things of that nature, I'm just going to basically wait for them to pretty much change it, or sorry, pretty much activate it. That's the word. They pretty much got to activate it first. So what they've done so far is they've given me all the passcodes and everything else and stuff for it, but they haven't actually activated it yet. So I'm sort of like, well, okay, what the hell? It doesn't. I mean, you wouldn't think it'd take that long to put a number, but apparently it does. Could be the case I've got to put it into their system, so I don't know. Maybe it's in between that. They haven't cancelled our old services, but I'm not concerned about that at this point because I know they've still got the net phone and everything else and all that other stuff still there. But what I'm going to do is I'll probably ring them when the net phone gets activated. I'll probably ring them and actually just find out if I'll find out from them if it's possible. Yeah, see. Well, no, I'll find out from them if they've cancelled everything correctly or what the case is, because basically they said to me, pretty much the description they gave me was, oh, I'm sorry, it's in the middle of porting things over. They got the number, yes, that's true, but it wasn't just that. I suppose they were transferring stuff over from a different mailbox or something, the mailboxes that we had with them. Well, I'm sort of scratching my head a little bit because I couldn't work out the entire thing. I'm just thinking, what the hell? So I'm going to see. I basically have to ring them up and see what the hell's going on. But I just don't feel like sitting in a freaking queue for like 30-something minutes or so. The last time I did ring up, the callback system wasn't working either. It was actually, for some reason, it wasn't working properly, so you couldn't actually get them to call you back. At this point, things aren't looking too bad. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty relaxed most of the time. I mean, I had a couple of problems with my the latest NVIDIA drivers on my computer, but I went back to the original driver and it's working now. But the irony of it is, though, I shouldn't have to go back to that for it to actually be activated. Yeah, or I shouldn't have to go back to those drivers. Like, okay, put it this way, with the latest drivers, they shouldn't stuff anything up. They should leave it the same. Like, my point sort of made me kind of scratch my head because, I mean, I have relatively decent video cards and they're not crappy by any means, so I'm sort of pissed that I was having the problems I was having. Though at this point, I am considering an upgrade. but it would probably most likely, if I was really gonna go for that upgrade, I would probably most likely go for two 1070s. But I'd have to save up to get that, and I've just put some money into a streaming device, so I'm pretty happy with that for the time being. But I'll probably end up saving. I've got to save up. Depending on where I get depending on where I were to get the 1070s, I'd probably have to. I'd probably have to save up about at least $1,000 or more, depending on what I wanted. Like depending on the type of cards I wanted. There's a couple of different models I can try. There's the 1070s, which are the newest models, which they're supposed to be getting pretty good performance. Then there's the 970s, which the performance wasn't too bad on those. Those were pretty reasonable. I'm sort of crossed between that. You know, it's probably going to work out because I'm on a budget, which is the cheapest option, to be truthful. I'm probably going to have to work it out myself personally to see exactly what my best option is. But I'd have to save up at least $1,000 for the two video. Well, I'd say 1,200 just to be on the safe side, just so I've got enough. 1,200 to at least that point to be able to get the two video cards I want, especially if I'm doing YouTube production, because I want relatively decent videos for that. Not just that, but I mean gaming as well. I do games, so in between that, I'm pretty happy lately. I'm pretty happy, going pretty well, feeling pretty good. Things are definitely looking up, put it that way. On top of that, I don't know, I've been in a pretty good mood lately. I've also been a bit content. I mean, I'm pretty content with this new connection, but at the same time, I'm trying to find myself too. Because I've got more motivation to do videos now, but now I have to be a bit more creative and think of ideas for the videos, specifically for things that I want to do with the videos. I've got a couple of hats I was going to include in some of those videos. I've got a pirate hat out in the workshop, which I was going to do. I was going to do like a pirate thing, just act like an idiot. I've got a jester hat, which I thought was an interesting option. There's a couple of other hats that I found, which I did bring them with me. I don't know where they are. I'll find them eventually. But I'm obviously still unpacking stuff. But I don't know. I was just gonna do some funny, stupid shit just for the hell of it. Why the fuck not? Because you've got to be creative when it comes to video content. You've also got to be creative in the sense of future content. Not just future content of the sense of. When it comes to future content, you got to be fresh and creative. I mean, that's pretty much what keeps videos going in most cases. As I said, I'm going to try and get as many little projects and stuff that I can together. But at the same time, I've got to take into consideration those projects to a relative point, like in the sense. How much time will they take up? Will they take up enough time? Will I be able to do a whole segment of videos on them or not? And things of that nature. And then of course my gaming videos, I'll always do my gaming videos. I definitely want to do that. I also probably will be doing some rant videos as well from time to time. I'm definitely going to still be doing those because there's still, especially when it comes to the industry and certain things in the industry, even for that matter of government and anything in the world, there's always something to rant about or get a little annoyed and pissed off about. And to be truthful, you got to rant from time to time. It clears your head. Pretty much, yeah. I've got the entirety of that in my head. So let's see. For now, it's pretty much. Let's see. It's just working out exactly what videos I'm going to do next. Well, I already know the two videos I'm going to do next for the little project. The next videos I'm going to be doing, and these are hopeful that I'm going to be doing them. I would have done a video of my blowing out my computer tonight, but I just was not in the mood. I was just like, oh fuck this shit. Because as I said, my computer was annoying me a little bit, so I went out. Well, it wasn't actually a computer; it was the Windows that was annoying me. But I thought I'd blow the computer out anyway because my temperatures were a little higher than they should have been. So I went out and blew the computer out, took all the venting off and everything else and all the other stuff, and just blew the entire computer out with the air compressor. And I was good, you know. There was a fair amount of dust left over it. I ended up using the vacuum for that afterwards. But let's see. What do I do after that? What I figure I'm going to do in the next few days, I'll do one of Dad's computer because I've got to blow Dad's computer out anyway. Maybe some bit of mucking around with my dad's, taking some stuff in and out of my dad's computer. I might even put an extra hard drive in there because he's only got 2 hard drives at the moment. I want to put an extra one in there just for extra storage boost. I probably end up, depending on the situation, I'll probably cannibalize the computer that I'm going to strip. So I'm going to strip that computer, fix up my sister's laptop, blow up my dad's computer, blow up the workbench computer, basically just, you know, dust it out and just get rid of all the crap and everything else inside it. Do a little bit of cable management combo of that. Maybe just sort of make things a bit neater. What else? Might run some well, I don't know. Most of my hard drives should be fine. I think most of the hard drives I've got are working pretty well. So I won't run any hard drive tests at this point in time. Then, trying to think. Yeah, so those are definitely the projects for the next few days that I'm going to be doing. I may even do some personal blog videos, you know, me speaking about my condition. May even do some cooking videos, depending on if I'm in the freaking mood. I might even show some, you know, some of the cooking that I get up to in some circumstances, certain situations when I feel like cooking. What else? Yeah, pretty much that anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say those are going to be my definite project videos for now, so I'm just going to go with that. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy my videos. Stay tuned. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. Like, favorite, and subscribe, of course. You can donate to my PayPal link if you choose to. If you don't want to, there's no obligation. You can contribute to my Patreon if you really want to. Up to you if you don't want to. That's cool. Like I said, no obligation. It helps me. It will help me produce better content, basically. What else we got? In the meantime, or in the meantime at this point in time, we'll just, you know, bugger it all. I don't know. Just, yeah, as I said, stay tuned. There's obviously more videos coming up, and if you find my content cool, or, you know, you think I'm chilled, which most of the time I am pretty chilled in most situations. Oh, that was interesting. I was like a handlebar moustache. I should like try to make my mow into a handlebar moustache. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Yeah. Stay tuned. Thank you very much, YouTube, and as per usual, as long as you enjoy my videos and my content, as long as you get something out of it, whether it's informative stuff, yeah, that's another cool thing. I don't mind informing people, but at the same time, I do have to do other stuff as well. I do have to do my repairs and things of that nature. So, you know, at the end of it, that is part of how I, you know, make money as well. So, I mean, to be honest, I wish I could do YouTube a little more full time, because then I can make more money out of it. But I don't. To be honest, I don't make a massive fortune out of YouTube. My percentage of my money comes out of more out of my repairs than anything else. And the truth of the situation is, I wish I could make a little more out of YouTube. I want to make more out of YouTube. I want to get more popular on YouTube if I can. So we will see what happens with the new connection and stuff, and see which direction it goes. Alright, thank you, and yeah, I'm rambling on as per usual, but yeah. Anyway, thank you. Okay, bye.